Good day, students. Welcome to another service-oriented year here in Literacy Training Service. I am John Ferwin Z. Camargo, your instructor in this course. For today, we will be having an orientation to give you an overview about this course. So, let's do this. So the NSTP, or the National Service Training Program, is offered in 2 semesters. So now uh, we have the first part of the NSTP, and you are here because you opted to take the Literacy Training Service. Thus, we have our course, the Literacy Training Service 1. So the course code is NSTP1. So this is a mandated course. All college students are required and mandated by law to take an STP. So all first year students are required to take this subject. So it is a 3-unit credit subject with a total contact hours of 54 or 290 hours. Before we proceed with the details on the Literacy Training Service 1, let's have first the vision, mission, goals, core values of BISU. For vision, a premier science and technology university for the formation of a world-class and virtuous human resource for sustainable development in Bohol and the country. For mission, BISU is committed to provide quality higher education in the arts and sciences, as well as in the professional and technological fields, undertake research and development and extension services for sustainable development of Bohol and the country. For the goals, BISU pursue faculty and education excellence and strengthen the current viable curricular programs and develop curricular programs that are responsive to the demands of times, both in the industry and the environment. Promote quality research outputs that respond to the needs of the local and the national communities. Develop communities through responsive extension programs. Adopt efficient and profitable income-generating projects or enterprise for self-sustainability. Provide adequate state-of-the-art and accessible infrastructure, support facilities for quality education, promote efficient and effective good governance supportive of high-quality education. For core values, we have the search for excellence, responsive to challenges, student access, public engagement, and good governance. As prospect graduates of BISU, you are expected to become an innovative service-oriented professionals in the near future. And as graduate of a teacher education program here in BISU, 3 to 5 years after graduation, you are expected to become a proficient school educator, researcher, and value-oriented problem solver who is capable of assuming leadership roles in dynamic, multicultural, local, and international fields in teaching. Okay, so since this is a general education course, so this course is we get the program outcomes from CHED Memorandum Order number 20 series of 2013. And here are the program outcomes anchored on this course. We have the PO4, Critical, Analytical, and Creative Thinking. PO7, Capacity to Personally Interpret the Human Experience. PO8, Ability to View the Contemporary World from both Philippine and global perspectives. PO15, Working Effectively in a Group. So for course outcomes in relation to program outcomes, we have these two. At the end of the course, the learner should be able to present a creative integrating portfolio of the outputs of the participated activities, which is aligned to the NSTP thrust of the university. And secondly, to demonstrate a sample of a self-made LTS teaching proposal based on the literacy and numeracy needs assessment. So hopefully you at the end of the course you can produce, you can make, you can have, you can make an output, you can make this particular outcomes or outputs. So what is LTS1? LTS1 is one of the subjects, one of the components of the NSTP, or the National Service Training Program, designed to train students to become teachers of literacy and numeracy to school children, out of school youth, and other segments of the society in need of the said service. Students enrolled in this program do not only help answer the needs of the community, but also strengthen the democratic fiber of the state for quality education at all levels. So, guided by the course outcomes and learning objectives, we have here the content subject matter, TLAs, and the assessment task. So now we're having the orientation. After this orientation, you will be taking first the common modules. So module 1 includes the introduction to the National Service Training Program. It includes the history of NSTP, NSTP in NSTP Act of 2001, components of NSTP, and that is for module 1. We have also module 2, the good citizenship, including Philippine Constitution, the Preamble, Bill of Rights, and the citizen values formation. We have also the nationalism and patriotism. We will deal with the Philippine flag, national anthem, the Philippine symbols, leadership and youth development, including leadership and styles, beatitudes of a leader, team building, morality and spirituality, entrepreneurship and livelihoods, sports and recreation, and transformational leadership. So these are the contents of Module 2, Good Citizenship. Next is the Module 3, Drug and Substance Prevention. It includes the nature of drug and drug abuse, the national drug situations, the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, the youth and the government's response to the drug problem. Module 4 is the disaster risk reduction and management. So it includes the introduction to DRRM, the national DRRM situation, and the DRRM Act of 2010. And lastly, for Module 5, Environmental Awareness and Protection. So it includes basic concepts, importance, and laws on environmental education, climate change, ecological solid waste management, and air pollution awareness and prevention. So after this common module, we will be having our midterm exam. Okay, next for the common module is the specific module. So we have the module 6, Literacy Training Service. So what is LTS, the role of education, and also community assessment for literacy training service. Then module 7 includes literacy training program. So we will deal with the theories of learning, LTS teaching strategies, literacy training program, and LTS proposal and demonstration. Then from there, we have our final examination or demonstration. So that's the short um, overview of the LTS1. So here are the resources and the integration of values. So let's proceed to the grading system. 60% is the passing percentage for obtained scores, which is transmuted to 75% equivalent to 3.0. However, for CTE, the deloading grade is below 2.5. Thus, student must have obtained at least 68% or higher, which is transmuted to 80% or higher and is equivalent to 2.5% or higher. So we will be computing midterm and final grade from this from your scores, transmutations, and equivalencies. Um, Computation of midterm and final grade includes the following components. So number one is participation or involvement, attendance, and participation activities. That is 30%. Written works assignment written works is 40%, broken as assignment, quizzes, and underwritten works. That is 20%. And the major examination is 20%. And for 3 is the major project or project proposal. That is 30% for a total of 100%. So from this percentage scores, it will be transmuted and then we will be getting the equivalent grades. So final rating will be determined from the average of midterm and final grades and rounding it down to 1 decimal place. So here is a quick guide on how you will be rated based on the final rating. I mean transmuted percent. So we have this 99 to 100, that is 1.0 and remark is passed. 97 to 98 transmuted to, equivalent to 1.1 and remark is passed. 95 to 96 is 1.2, remark is passed. 93 to 94 is 1.3, remark is passed. 91 to 92 is 1.4, remark is passed. 90 to 125 passed, until 85 to 1.0 is passed. So here 84 is equivalent to 2.1 passed, up to 80 which is equivalent to 2.5 is passed. So it is important that for every venture, every assignment, test, projects, outputs, you should aim for 68% of the score or higher for you to get 80% transmuted percentage or a grade of 2.5. Once you get below 80, so that is 79, that is 2.6, up to 75, that is equivalent to 0. So for grades 2.6 to 3.0, yes, you passed, you will be remarked as passed. So you pass LTS1, however, you will be subjected to the loading policy in the next semester. So details of the deloading policy will be discussed in the next part of the orientation. So if you get a transmuted percent of 75%, below 75%, your rating is automatically be 5.0. So this remark is a failing remark, and also aside that you have failed the subject, you will also be subjected to a deloading policy. So we have here the class policies. So this for this part, the first part is are excerpts from the from Bohol State University Student Manual. So first is the admission requirements. All students who have committed major offenses shall be enrolled only upon recommendation by the Dean of College and approval of the campus director or SUC president. So therefore, once you commit major offenses, your enrollment can be or may be interrupted upon the approval of the Dean of the College or the campus director or university president. So what are these major offenses? It will be discussed also in the next parts. All students should enroll during the scheduled date of enrollment. So hopefully you enrolled on scheduled date. Okay, second part is the academic policies. Overload or underload. College students found to be academically deficient shall be loaded one or two subjects to allow them to cope with their workload. So again, here is the deloading policy. So once you get for teacher education, the deloading grade is below 2.5. So once you get a grade below 2.5, in the next semester that you will be enrolling, you will be deducted or deloaded one or two subjects in the next enrollment, on your enrollment. This is done for you to cope up with the workload because maybe it is too much for you. So that's why you will be deloaded in the next semester. Now, if you are deload or if you got a grade below 2.5 in two subjects, then you will also be deloaded with two subjects in the next semester. And it should be of the same credit units. So I hope it is clear. Next is changing, adding, dropping of subjects. So you will be given 2 weeks after the start of class to change, add, or drop your subjects. And also you have to officially change, add, or drop of subjects. So failure to do so will not be credited. So a subject not attended after the prescribed period of changing, adding, dropping of subjects shall be marked non-attended in the rating sheet of the instructor. Also, a student who dropped after midterm shall be given a failing grade of 5.0. However, if there is a valid reason, the teacher could mark also drop while indicating the date in the record of the instructor. So prospective dropout shall be referred by the class advisor, instructor, or dean to the guidance counselor. So once we see some problems of you upon in our class, it could be virtual or face-to-face, then it's our obligation to refer to you to the guidance counselor. So do not be afraid, do not if the guidance counselor will contact you and ask you some details about any problems that you encounter upon being with us here in BISU. Next is the readmission and retention. A college student who fails in 3 or more subjects during the semester will be advised by the dean to shift to another course or transfer to another school. So for a corresponding year, once you will be failed in 3 or more subjects, you will be advised by the dean to take another course. Maybe the course you had been enrolled is not um, much for you, and hopefully there are other courses in the same institution that you can choose, or that maybe fit to you, or you may also transfer to another school. So college students are subjected to the retention policies of their respective departments. So I think that's all for the retention policy and katong sa for the deloading policy. And so hopefully when you get to student teaching, you should not have any subject deficiency for the semester. So you must have taken all the subjects before you can have the student teaching. That is very clear. So transfer of subjects taken from other institutions with the same course title or description and number of units will be credited. So if you have taken, sounds like same with elementary statistics, so you can apply for consideration for it to be, for you to drop this subject and take another subject perhaps, so that you can maximize your stay here in BISU. Only transferees with the proper credentials will be enrolled. School policies. Okay, we have here the class attendance. Again, as students, you are really obliged to attend classes regularly. Absences should be checked by the class monitor or the teacher. So during the face-to-face, we have here admission slip, which be given for those students who were absent for 5 or more consecutive or non-consecutive meetings coming from the guidance office with the approval of the dean. So, and also student absences due to illness or other valid reasons should be excused upon presentation of excuse letters from the parents and guardians with medical certificate in case of serious illness. So you should really communicate us if you have problems and you cannot attend the classes. Excuse letter and proper documents can suffice for us to validate and also for us to permit you or excuse you from your absence. Students who incurs 5 unexcused consecutive or non-consecutive absences in a semester will be considered dropped. So that is so clear. Students should make up shop or practicum or field work for unexcused absences. So you should make up if in case there are works like this. Students who represents the campus in the school-related activities, whether local, provincial, regional, or national level, should be given highest score obtained by the students left in the class in all subjects, commensurate to their absences. For missed periodic exam, he or she will be given special examination 2 weeks after your arrival. So if in case something happens like this, that you will be sent for a competition, then you can avail this privilege. So next is the disciplinary measures. So here are now the offenses. So first we have the minor offenses. So making unnecessary noise such as singing, boisterous conversation, laughters, shouting, annoyances are minor offenses. Okay, next, not wearing of uniforms or decent attires is a minor offense. Using cellular phones inside the classroom during class hours is also a minor offense. So in case of virtual classes, we are using our phones. If you are using other phones with you and not attentive in our class, then it is really a minor offense. Okay, we have now the major offenses that I've told you a while ago that could subject you to, or that will hinder you to enroll in the next semester, because if that offense is really offensive to the teacher or to anyone, then they might file um, a formal letter, a formal complaint to the Students Affairs Guidance or the Dean. So here are the major offenses: cheating and other forms of dishonesty during examination. So I know what you know about this, most especially in the virtual classes. So don't let us know, because it's really a major offense. Also, forging or tampering school records, documents, or credentials, or knowingly furnishing school with false or fraudulent information in connection with the official documents. Okay, by the way, letting other people answer your activities is considered a form of dishonesty and cheating. So, okay. So now let's have the policies and guidelines on virtual classes and attendance. So on virtual classes, students must be oriented by themselves. Okay. So you should have internalized this etiquette in virtual classes. So for attendance, be at the site 5 minutes before the start of the session and follow the class schedule religiously. Use this use a screen name, the registered name in the SMIS account. So no name tagging, no other names, no nicknames. Use your registered name in the SMIS account. Also, use decent screen picture fit for school. So for those students who are um, who are messaging some of the teachers that do not wear decent profile picture, decent don't have um, decent pictures in their profiles, some of them were not replied by the teachers because it's against this policy. So be dressed for school. Always have a dress appropriate for school. Then opening of camera is needed for start and end of classes. However, in the middle of the classes, it depends, or as needed in the discussion. So make sure that there is a stable internet connection. So I believe virtual classes is really scheduled. So you have it is really your task, or it's really your responsibility to find a stable internet connection for a virtual class, because we do it very minimal only. So take that opportunity that you can share and interact with your teacher and your classmates. So also next, recharge your laptops and other gadgets and power banks beforehand so that you can maximize time with with your classmates. So minimize sound distractions, like you are in the any sound distractions, or just hopefully off your audio, as well as going outside or going inside a closed area where sound is not that loud. Mute the microphone where when you're not speaking. So raise your hand or type on the chat box to ask questions or clarifications, and wait for the recognition of the host. So for us, acknowledge students' presence and take a screenshot of for the documentation of attendance. So that is really necessary, is a necessity. So if we are going to have a virtual class, then I request you to show yourself. So hopefully you will do it because it's our job to take the attendance. Otherwise, you can also have a screenshot for your copy, or I can also assign some of you to do so, to do a report. So hold synchronous classes on approved schedule as at least once a month. So we will be holding our synchronous virtual classes depends on um, depends on our depends on the topic, depends on the time. We should have a consensus about it when and uh, when of course it should be scheduled in our class schedule. However, sometimes I maybe request to have a virtual class not on our schedule, but we will talk about it before that time. So, but most of the time, I will request everybody to have, or will be having a virtual class in our scheduled time or our class schedule. Also, upload lessons before the virtual class for students' reference. So, if in case we will have a virtual class, hopefully I can also upload my lessons beforehand so that you can read in advance. Also, create a class platform where classwork and communication can be posted. So for these class platforms, we are given freedom what to use, but for me, I would like to use it could be Google Classroom or the BISU LMS, the one that you had training. So, but since it is not yet ready for use, it's still under configuration. So we will be using it. We will be using it soon. Okay, so it's also my right if to have an audio and video recording for our virtual class, so that those who cannot attend the class um, is I can still see or can still watch the video, or our virtual class can still watch our virtual class. So give a take-home message before ending a class. For virtual classes, for me, I will not, um, it is really not compulsory, and attendance to virtual classes is not really part of the grading. So, because it's only once a month at a minimum of once a month. So I will not be including it for your grade because I understand that some of you don't have internet or that fast internet and have really flexible about the time. So for me, I will also be flexible, but for me, for us, deadline is deadline. What deadline that we have set is deadline, no more extension. So on attendance, or by the way, if in case there is an extension, there is a corresponding deduction. So on attendance, the following points should be taken into account in synchronous or asynchronous mode of learning. So here, the following students is required to log into Mood Learning or LMS or any platform. So that's what I told you a while ago, and has class engagement with faculty in online or offline mode at least once a week. So if you have questions, you are free to ask. Students without access to technology or has poor internet connectivity shall call the faculty or send an email through class platform or any way of communicating with the faculty, so that we can meet in some way on how to um, that we can let teaching and learning still happen even in this pandemic. Students who have not logged in or has complied with the required classwork are considered absent. Absences with valid reasons may be excused with the submission of electronic access letter in the class platforms. Those who have incurred 4 unexcused consecutive absences or 4-week absences will be referred by the faculty, chair, chairperson, and college dean to the guidance center for telecare conference with the students and or with the parents, guardians. So other provisions on attendance are reflected in the student manual. So we have also these class policies. Hopefully you agree with it. So, okay. First, before accomplishing the module, be sure that you had carefully understood this course guide or this course syllabus that I am telling you. So manage your time to understand every part of the module as reflected in the study schedule. Understand and follow instructions explicitly indicated in the modules. Engage in all possible resources or references to further understand the content of this module. Seeking help from your family members, friends, and anybody who can help you accomplish this module is very much encouraged. However, letting other persons to accomplish your modules is a form of cheating and or a form of dishonesty. So the students themselves shall be the one to accomplish all the coursework outlined in this course. In case for clarification, do not hesitate to call or text my mobile number. I have TNT and TM numbers, or chat via messenger or any way of communication available in your location. Before the end of the midterms and finals, you will be tasked to send back through correspondence to accomplish unscheduled modules. Make sure confirm receipt of your submission via any media available. So requirements not submitted with agreed deadlines, and the extension of 3 days after the deadline shall receive a score of 0. So this shall be computed based on percentage criteria of the appropriate grade component. So if that is the scheduled time, again, you will be given 3 days to submit, but it has a deduction because it's late. However, if you exceed 3 days, do not submit anything because you will receive already a score of 0. So we will be um, setting a deadline by for ourselves, and also that is the deadline. 3 days after that, uh, you will receive automatic of 0. So those are the class policies. I hope you understand that, everyone. So we have these rubrics for assessing course outcomes or projects or activities in this course. So for okay, so we have this also, the rubrics for our course outcome. Next, so here is as how your grade is computed. So if you have the obtained score, so for instance, you get 6, the total score is 10, so 6 out of 10. Then you will have a percentage of 60%. So that 60% will be transmuted to another percent. So that's the transmitted percentage, and that transmitted percentage has an equivalent term point grade. So here is a sample computation. So if you have a score of 60 and a total score of 100, the percentage is 60%. It will be transmuted to 75%, equivalent to the term grade 3.0. And since we are teacher education, we're aiming for 2.5 so that we will not be loaded. You should let's have this score. 68 score with a total score of 100. The percentage is 68. It is transmuted to 80%. And this 80% is the equivalent for 2.5. So you must get at least 68% for you to get a 2.5 grade. So next scores 76, 84, 90, 98, 100 is 1.0. So that's it, everyone. So I hope everything is clear now. If you have other questions about the course, do not hesitate to ask me via messages, text or call, chats, or any way that is that you prefer or available on your location. So that's it for today. Thank you and see you on our next video. God bless and have a nice day ahead, everyone.